Thank you for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black, where we're discovering some of the most inspiring trials to triumph stories and empowerment moments. Call up a friend and let them know it's time for some good news. Welcome to Good News with Twanda Black. I am your host. We talk with folks from all walks of life about their good news because ultimately, when our brothers and sisters are doing well, we're doing well. We celebrate. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this next guest. Joining me today is Sadi Ali. And today we're going to be her friend, so we're going to call her Sadi. And she is Chief Operating Officer of Black Diamond Claims Solutions. And guess what, folks? We are in the midst of one of the worst, I think. It's like every year we think it's the worst one, and then every year it tops it. So we're in the middle and the thick of this crazy weather season that it appears like every year it gets worse. So we're going to talk about how to support and go through the process of your insurance claims, because that's very important. How are you this morning, Sadi?
I am very good, thank you. How are you, Twanda?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. First of all, tell us about Black Diamonds Claim Solutions. I love that name.
Thank you very much. It's funny, everybody, when we started the company, everybody's like, what is Black Diamond? Because it sounds like something entirely different than what it is. But it gets attention, so that's worked in our favor. Black Diamond Claim Solutions is essentially a resource, whether it's for the homeowner themselves or the people that represent them, public adjusters, attorneys, the people who are fixing their roof, doing their mold assessments, taking care of the flood in their home. Black Diamond is a resource for everybody involved, whether it's a natural disaster like a hurricane or a tornado, or an everyday occurrence like a fire, a pipe burst, a leak in your AC closet, things like that are kind of hidden that you don't even know are happening. So we're a resource. We try to be right in the middle of everything and make sure every party is taken care of.
That's a good thing because, and we're going to talk about the process, because I think that that's where we as homeowners, property owners go wrong. We don't know the process. So we don't know, what's good and what's bad in these situations. But then you hear, after the fact on the news, in the newspaper, on the news feeds, that these people are not being serviced or they got, ripped off in the insurance process. And you're like, okay, what's really happening here?
Right. And that's the everyday truth. I try to work with the insurance companies. I never want to make them an enemy, nor do I want to be an enemy of theirs. Mm-hmm. So it's really about education, right? Understanding, because they're a business, they have contracts, and at the end of the day, everything is a contract. So it's really, the onus is on the homeowner. Understand what's in your contract. They might be written in a way that's not meant for you to understand, but that's where we step in, is really helping you understand what you're entitled to, what you're paying for year after year, because you have to have it. Right. So if you're paying for it, let's utilize it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let's talk about the process. So right now, we got floods, hurricanes, earthquakes. It's like it's running the gamut.
Time, right?
Everything that can possibly happen is happening right now. So start at the beginning. When we are buying a property or even renting a property,
right?
The kinds of insurance that we need, because I know here recently in an area that is not a floodplain, never categorized as a floodplain, it flooded. So when the people tried to get help from their insurance company, they were like, you didn't get flood insurance and it's not in a floodplain. So what do we do here? How do we protect ourselves on the front end?
So I think it always begins with legislation, right? Everything's on a state level.
Yeah.
So you want to watch what each individual state is saying and doing about insurance. Black Diamond is based in Florida, although we're a nationwide company, we're based in Florida. And as probably the entire world knows, Florida is a battleground when it comes to insurance, right? Mm-hmm. We kind of set the trends. It always starts with knowing what your state is saying and doing. flood lines, things like that, as you mentioned. The last few years have been tough. Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, states that have no business worrying about hurricanes and floods went through it recently, right? Only to be told you weren't covered, sorry, and you're waiting on the government to assist you. It's tough. I would advise anybody at this point, if you're even within 20 miles of the coast or you have a lot of large bodies around you, just take a flood policy. Mm-hmm. They're not expensive. They're literally a fraction of price as a full homeowner's policy. So it's kind of safe to have one because you never know with everything that's going on in the world if you're actually going to flood. Mm-hmm. Your flood policy is entirely different than your homeowner's policy. Flood is two different things. If the water came through the roof, that's not your flood policy. But if the water came from the ground, rising waters came through your doors, things like that, that's what you need a policy for. Mm-hmm. A separate flood policy that's going to cover that. So first step would be watch the state, see what's going on, see what the regulations are. Secondly, speak to your agent. Your agent is a valuable resource. They're selling you this policy, whether you're a renter or an owner. Speak to them. Most people don't utilize their agents. They're highly educated. The exam to become an agent and how you have to know these policies, it's one of the toughest out there. Mm-hmm. So have an agent walk you through what's covered and what's not covered before you buy that policy. And worst case scenario, ask them. Mm-hmm. Because we're very much in a turning point in the world where worst case scenario might be everyday scenario.
Yeah. So let me just ask you as an aside, because I'm really curious about this. Like the wildfires, how is that covered? When it happened in California last year, a lot of homeowners didn't have anything, or they had something, but it didn't really cover what they needed it to cover. Talk about how that works, because actually right now Utah is covered in wildfires, and then we have them in Florida sometimes. I'm from Florida like you, and now we're having little small ones in Georgia.
Yeah. Wildfires are tough. It really depends on the individual policies, which is why I say consult with your agent. It is very rare that a wildfire will affect your home, but you never know. I mean, I'm probably 3 miles away from a huge blazing fire right now. You don't really know what happens. But then fires go further than just the fire. There's smoke damage. There's embers. You could be forever away from that fire and still have some kind of implication from it. So it all starts with really talking to your agent, reading your policy before you sign. Insurance does cover the wildfires. Mm-hmm. It really will. But you have to have the right policy in place. And it really comes down to talking to your agent and making sure you have those coverages in place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are some of the common mistakes now? You're in a tornado, hurricane zone. We're not, but then we get tornadoes sometimes. It's a little weird. We just never know here. So what are some of the common mistakes that we make as homeowners that reduces our payouts?
Documentation. So a lot of people start their cleanup or start doing repairs before they document what actually happened. So with a hurricane, you know it's coming. So you can take 4 pictures. I always advise, if you know a natural disaster is coming, document your home, timestamped before the event, right? Because that's ironclad proof that nothing was there and then all of a sudden you had the damage. Documentation is everything. Mm-hmm. Before you start moving anything, photograph, video, timestamp as much as you can to show what actually happened. And this can also work for a pipe burst or a fire in your kitchen, whatever it is. A lot of people lack documentation, and I get it. In the moment, you get frantic. You freak out. You want to clean your home. You want to get rid of the thing that's making it not feel like home. Mm-hmm. But that's when you have to pause and say, let me document this first. Document. Second, call the insurance. Let them know what happened immediately, because delaying and telling the insurance company it happened could also be the reason that it could be denied. So it's very important that you tell them it happened as soon as you possibly can.
Now, you just touched on something. Besides that, what are some other things that would make them deny a claim?
Okay, so one of my favorite things to talk about, an insurance policy it's a contract essentially, right? It's a contract between the insurance company and you. So they're agreeing to give you XYZ as long as you do ABC. One of the things that you are required to do as a homeowner in that contract is mitigate your damages. Meaning if you see something is leaking, stop the leak. Put a bucket, put something down to stop further damage. If your roof got damaged, you're required contractually to put a tarp up there or do something to stop more water from coming in. If you don't do that and things keep going further, you can get denied. Secondly, lack of documentation, because you can say it happened today, but how do you prove it? How does anybody know that the loss actually occurred on the day that you said it did? Thirdly, just dishonesty. And even though I'm not working for the insurance companies, I call it an ecosystem, because it really is. I want to keep the ecosystem clear and clean and symbiotic. Dishonesty is a huge issue. If you try to say something happened but it didn't, or you're adding money to the estimate, or trying to claim something that really didn't get damaged, we are trained. Like I myself have been trained for 21 years now on how to spot that dishonesty. And the simplest lie can lead to you losing your home, your livelihood.
Oh, wow. Yes. We need to know those things. Hidden coverages that we just don't know about.
My favorite, which is how Black Diamond really came into this market, is your additional living expenses. So there's something on your policy. This is for homeowners specifically. It rarely exists on renters policies, but for homeowners, you have a coverage that's built solely for you to relocate to a safe home. It's normally 10 to 20% of your policy limit, and it can only be used for additional living expenses. So let's say, for example, you lost your kitchen, whether to a fire or some kind of plumbing, you have no running water. You don't have to buy food. You have to eat out every single day. That's an additional living expense that your insurance policy has a coverage for, specifically for that. If your home has severe water damage or needs to be repaired or was so badly destroyed that you could no longer live in it, you are entitled to another home. You can go rent something else. You can go live somewhere else safely until your home is ready to be lived in again. Most people do not know this exists solely because it needs to be incurred. And incurred means you have to spend the money, show the insurance company you spent the money, and then they're going to reimburse it to you. It's such a valuable coverage because if you don't have a safe place to live, it's a really horrible moment for you and your family. Also, even if the home is not unlivable, but let's say you need some repairs done, you need to get out so those repairs can get done so you can go back home quickly. And that coverage is specifically for that.
So, Sadi, you kind of touched on something, renters insurance. Can you touch on that for a moment? I think so many people think it's not necessary, that they don't bother. And then you are living with 1,000 other people. There's a fire, no firewalls, that we just saw it on the news here recently. And people lose everything.
I think renters insurance is so valuable. It's fairly cheap considering what you're paying per month for it. It's not going to cover the structure of where you live.
Right.
That onus is on the building or whoever you're renting from.
Yeah.
However, all your contents, the things that make that your home, that's what the renter's policy will cover. In the event you have to flee, you have to leave, you have to go live somewhere else, you lost your couches, your TV, that's where renter's insurance is really valuable. People think, it means nothing, the landlord's going to pay for everything. Well, they're not paying for what they don't own. What you own, you need to insure. And I advise anybody who's renting, pay the couple $100 a month and protect your assets.
There's just so many apartment fires, so many, fires where people are together and you see the people outside in blankets and no shoes. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Can I ask you though, and I mean, I don't even know if this is connected, but in those cases, in any cases like a fire or some kind of damage to your home, What about pets? Is there insurance for pets? Is there something included in there? Like if you lose your pet, has to have surgery or anything like that?
So sadly, anything medical related to your pet is not going to be covered because they're not a content, right? They're a living being.
Yeah.
If you lost your home, or let's say your pet lost their safe area, that additional living expenses will cover boarding for that animal. If they lost their bedding, they lost their cage, you can't afford their food. That's what that policy is in place for.
Okay.
So although we can't pay for the medically necessary things for those animals or the loss of life, God forbid, which we never want to see our furry babies be hurt anyway, but that's what that policy is for. It can help in getting those animals taken care of.
I think probably 99.9% of people have pets these days, and they're, like you said, they're our fur babies. So just thought about that. What about our pets? And you see people will risk their lives to go back in and get a pet.
That's me. I'd be the one that died with 8 animals in my arm. That's
yes. So now, how do we protect our financial recovery after a storm happens? How do we protect that?
So it's getting harder and harder every year because disasters are becoming more common every year. Therefore, the states are shutting down, they're buckling down. You have insurance companies leaving states all the time. So it's really important, because the laws change and the policies get a little bit tighter, have somebody on your side. So Black Diamond, we are adjusters by trade, right? We've been licensed, we've been working for insurance companies for decades, but we ourselves aren't adjusting the claims. But what we can do is put you in touch with the right people, the right attorneys or the right public adjusters to get you what you are entitled to. We do not believe in fluffing a claim and getting extra. It is what you are entitled to, and that's what's important to us. So we encourage people, something happened to you, call us. We'll look at your policy. It won't cost you a penny. We ourselves will tell you you're entitled to XYZ. This person can help you get it. Whether you use them or not, that is entirely up to you, but we at least want to educate you on what your policy tells you can have. It's tough. We've worked probably 15, 20 hurricanes now. We've worked the most catastrophic tornadoes. We've worked floods. We've worked fires. And the worst thing is I've seen people lose everything. And when I look at your policy, they were not insured the right way to get that life back. Yes, we can't replace your photos. We can't replace the sentimental things.
Right.
The policy can replace everything else. And it breaks my heart when people pay all this money every month, but they were underinsured. Yeah. And even if they were insured adequately, they didn't know how to utilize it.
Right. Because we don't understand the process. Yeah. So we appreciate you talking about the process. Just a quick question. When, and this is the first time I've heard, well, not the first time, but last year during the California fires, some of those insurance companies did they go out of business? They walked away? What happened there? Those people said, they were like, no, we can't cover you and we're no longer in business. What happens? What has to happen for us when that happens?
So, it really varies by state, right? So like here in Florida, we have an association that guarantees the policy. So let's the insurance ran out of money and they have to stop paying their claims. We have a guarantee fund that makes sure those claims are taken care of. Every homeowner, regardless of the insurance you have, if you're a homeowner in Florida, you're paying into a fund that covers you in the event that your insurance company goes belly up.
Now that's by state though, right? Every state does not have that.
Every state, which is why I advise always look into your state legislation. And your insurance policy will tell you if you have that guarantee in your state, because you're going to be paying a couple dollars towards that fund every time you pay your policy. But it happens. Like we had Hurricane Ian. You're from Tampa. Yeah. So you know, Hurricane Ian devastated the west coast of Florida. Black Diamond, we were there for months on end. We were boots on the ground. So many companies went belly up, either during or right after Ian, and they left the state. They didn't have money to pay the claims. Louisiana, 2020, 2021, 2022, you had back-to-back. Black Diamond was there, and we're watching these companies one by one. We no longer have money. We can't pay your claims. But Louisiana had the fund. So we helped our homeowners through it. How do we help you get the money? How do we take care of you? And we had people in Louisiana, even though their insurance company was no longer in existence, we were keeping them housed safely for 2 years.
Yeah.
So that we could make sure they were safe, and then we fought the insurance for them and made sure that everything was taken care of.
That is amazing.
But it does happen.
I know this may not be your portion, but cities and states that get hit year after year after year, how do they ever recover? I feel like some of them never recover because once they get started, or even before they can get started, they get hit again.
It happens, and it's devastating. Louisiana is a prime example for that.
For sure.
Because as they started recovering, it happened again. There's a lot of state funds for those types of things. You have national funds and government assistance, but the insurance only takes you so far, really and truly. And then the sad part is you lost your home to a hurricane, you filed a claim, your insurance company paid you $150,000, and the very next year they stopped insuring you. And now you have to figure out, how do you get insurance? And it's always a really slippery slope when these things happen, but it always starts with the education, and that's what I'm so passionate about. It's not about making money. I mean, everybody wants to make money, right? But it's not about that for me. For as long as I'm doing this, I myself, 7 years ago, my husband and I saved up. We bought our home. We took our time. We furnished our home. We had the perfect pieces. And 3 months after we furnished and had everything set, my water heater exploded in the middle of the night and dropped hundreds of gallons of water through my home. My 2-year-old son lost all his possessions, lost his brand new room. And I'm sitting there and I'm going through the claim, and luckily I knew how to handle it because I was educated.
Right.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, somebody else. And they denied my claim. They denied my claim, and I fought them tooth and nail, and we rebuilt our home, and it took years. But because I knew and I understood what I was entitled to, I was able to do that. And that's what really brought me this passion. Because if you're paying for it, just like your health insurance and your car insurance, you're entitled to it. But you have to know what you have.
Be still my heart. Oh my goodness. And people go through it every single day. Every single day. It's, like you say, a slippery slope. However, being educated is worth it all. Even if you're just getting a little bit. Come back and listen to the end. Go to blackdiamondclaimsolutions.com and look at them. They have videos. They have a great website where you can gather some information as well. Sadi, any other information you want to give us?
We are in the peak of hurricane season. It's no longer just Florida. It's everybody. It can go anywhere. I am constantly, daily inundated with claims from Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Illinois, with tornadoes. It's insane. Please know your rights. And if you have a question about your rights, call us so we can put you in contact with the right people to help you. And heaven, God, whomever you believe in, forbid you lose the use of your home and you have nowhere safe to be. Please contact us, because we will never leave anybody houseless. And we have the means and we have the facilitation to get something for you very quickly, 24 to 48 hours, no cost to the homeowner. We'll fight the insurance. It's just, we are passionate about people having a safe place. So if you ever lose the use of your home, please contact us.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Sadea Ali Sadi, Miss Sadi, joins us today. She's the COO of Black Diamond Claim Solutions. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your heart with us for this season, because really and truly, we go through almost something year-round in this country.
We do.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us for Good News. If you would like to be a guest, you can reach out to us at goodnews@thepgnetwork.org and catch Good News on pgntv.org. I'll see you next time. I'm Twanda Black, and I've got more good news for you.